Hello world, Hot Todd here. Just recently, Sideways issue number 1 came out, and it was fantastic. It's one of the more fun and promising looking books coming out of DC after the aftermath of Metal. I think it's called DC's New Age of Heroes. Of course, let's get the obvious out of the way. Much like a lot of the other books in this line, it's an analog of one of Marvel's classics, Spider-Man. But it doesn't feel like a copy or a cheap ripoff. It feels like its own thing. It's a modern DC take on Spider-Man, and it does a fantastic job. You don't, like, when you're reading this, you don't think this is Spider-Man, but with different powers. You think, this guy is cool as shit. This is cool as shit. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I want to keep on reading. And, oh my god, like... There wasn't much in the realm of action or stakes in this issue till the very end. It did a great job of setting up the characters, the tone, and the feel of the series. I'm pretty sure I have a grasp of what to look forward to, of what's going to be happening in the future of this series, and I'm actually excited. I know what kind of personality Derek/Sideways has, how he got his costume, who his friend is, who his family, his relationship with his friend and his family, and even got a taste of the obligatory school bully. I really love the fact that his costume was made by an obvious cosplayer. His friend, Ernie, I think her name was? Yeah, Ernie. And that the thing that told me, that made it obvious, was not the dialogue. She didn't sit there and say, I'm a cosplayer, so I'm really good at making costumes, so that's why I made the costume for you. He just said, hey, the costume you made me is great. And you could look in the background and how she dresses, and it instantly tells you, oh, she's a cosplayer. She knows how to make costumes. She knows this kind of stuff. Like... The detail explained it all, and it makes sense. It's not weird for a teenager like that to create a costume. Have you seen the cosplaying community? A lot of these people are just freaking magicians when it comes to making costumes. So it's not really hard to imagine a teenager making a costume like that in the DC universe, when costumes are so frequently used. A cosplayer would easily be able to make one for a superhero. Oh my god, I don't know why, but I just loved the fact that they made it obvious, and it makes sense. Like, you don't get that kind of feeling in the first issue of series that often anymore. I just want to take it all in. I want to cherish it. Oh my god, that makes me so happy. It was ingenious. I loved it. I also love how you know the kind of person she is by how she dresses and interacts with her friend Derek and her twin sister, who is more of a generic preppy girl. This side character who we only get a few panels of and like see a few text messages from to Derek. You already know what kind of person she is, what kind of attitude she has, and probably what kind of relationship she has with Derek. It's great. And they didn't sit there and tell you everything. They just let you figure it out by yourself. And I could be wrong. But you know what? I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and think that I'm not wrong. And that she's going to be even more fleshed out. And that she's going to have a good relationship with the main character, Sideways, or Derek, which is his real name. Oh god, it's great. It's great. Yeah, they fleshed out the characters even a little bit in issue 1. That's rare. I need to say that again. That is very rare, but very promising. That's why I love this issue. Same reason why I loved Silencer. Like, you already get a feeling of, who Silencer was. How she feels about her family, how she feels about her life, although she told you a lot of that, but she kind of had to. You got her interacting with her husband in a way that tells you their relationship, and how she interacted with Talia al Ghul, that told you her relationship with her. Like, it all meshes together and makes sense. So those 2 books are already on my top. They are top tier books with really good character and world building already, and that makes me really happy and looking forward to more of this line, especially the Terrifics, which I am hyped as hell for. I don't want to spoil a lot of stuff. Like the big plot for at least this arc begins at the end of this issue. I don't want to spoil it, although DC already did that with the previews. Anyway, social media is obviously going to take a big part in Sideways stories from the future, judging from him making YouTube videos showing himself off using his powers, which is a modern take of Spider-Man using his position as a photographer to show the world his superhero persona up close, the good that he's doing, and what he can do. Sideways does the same thing, but with YouTube. And he and his mom have a really close and loving relationship that's reminiscent of Peter Aunt May. Though it's interesting to note that he doesn't have an Uncle Ben analog or moment as of now. In the book, he even says he needs to keep a secret identity to keep his loved ones safe, which means he already has being a hero in mind, so maybe they won't do an Uncle Ben moment. I'd actually like that. With great power comes great responsibility is overplayed to hell at this point. I think it'd be interesting for them to not do that, even though he's a Spider-Man analog, because it's not really necessary. We know he wants to do good. We know that he is going to do good. That he was already thrust into that kind of situation, and we're probably going to get that with the big spoiler at the end. He's probably going to be like, "Hey, dude, you use your powers right." Like, if you read the issue, then you know what I'm talking about. So that's going to be the Uncle Ben dialogue, analog. But I'm glad that he's not just someone that he loves that's just saying, "Hey, you use your powers correctly." Like, yeah, get the cosmic shit going. Hell yeah. I'm all for that. And the splash of villains also makes it incredibly easy to draw parallels to his villains and Spidey's. It's fucking incredible how obvious DC is making this, but how good it is at the same time. Oh god. And speaking of that, the art. Oh my god. Rocafort's art is amazing. He has a beautiful art style. He draws everyone with grace and elegance that's just so amazing and appealing to me. I love everything about the art in this series. And how detailed he makes his backgrounds in certain areas. I love it. Like, he can tell, he can craft a story with his visuals alone. You don't have to read the words to get a sense of what's going on. And that's something that a lot of artists can't really do. Like, oh my god. Oh, and just how beautiful his characters looked. Like, seriously, all the characters look distinct, have great designs, and the art complements their actions and dialogue well at times. I actually dig the scratchy look the art style has, and the coloring makes some things just look plain cool. Like, if you want to see cool shit, read this. If you don't care about the story, and just like comics for eye candy, read this. Get this book, buy it. And if you like comics for the story or characters, still get this book, because it does great on that front. Everything feels natural and just plain fun here. It feels interesting, and everything about it just screams awesome. The main character being a Puerto Rican, pretty cool. I'm all for that. I don't give a shit. It's great. And the fact that Grant Morrison is going to co-write this series later on has me even more excited. Like, I'm so excited. The flow is great, and it's probably going to keep up at this pace. Plus, they're going to get one of my favorite writers of all time later on it. So that makes me know that this is going to be amazing. It makes me want more, and I can't wait until next month. This gets a high recommendation from me. Go read it. Go buy it. Find any way to read it. Just be sure to support your local comic shop and/or the creators of this book. It's joining Silencer as one of my favorite books from the new line of DC Comics. I think the New Age of Heroes. I'm just so happy just talking about it. I hope everyone takes my advice. Go read that book. Have an amazing day. Have an awesome day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.